Yo traders, what is good? So we're coming towards the end of the course, but we got a little bit more to do. So this lesson is going to be on entries and exits. All right, so some entry work, some exit work. Now I'm going to cover risk management also, which is going to kind of involve take profits, stop losses, risk to reward ratios and stuff, but entries and exits for now. So what I mean when I say that is, like, obviously, this is not even a course to teach you a trading strategy. It's just to teach you the basics, to kind of build a strategy yourself. But look, do you know what? For a bonus, I just come up with something. I weren't even going to do it, but I'm going to do this. For a bonus for this beginner course, I'm actually gonna throw a fucking couple of strategies in. So I'm gonna give examples on a breakout strategy, a break and retest strategy, and a little bit of a smart money concept strategy for beginners. All right, just to help you out and put all of these little building blocks together that I've been teaching you. So yeah, that's gonna be a bonus. I just literally come up with that now. I weren't even gonna do that, but if I'm gonna give you entry and exit work, then how the fuck am I, gonna expect you to figure that out without a strategy? So anyway, entries and exits. Now, it's going to be so much. This is why I just come up with the idea of giving some strategies, quick little examples of strategies, because entering a trade is going to depend on your strategy and your trading style. So when I'm trading the Forex style breakout trading that I do, yeah, I enter on volume. So I don't even wait for a candle to close. I literally just enter on the volume as is breaking a level. So that's one way to enter, just, before the candle closes. Is very risky. Then there's another way to enter, which is more confirmations, like, when we was talking about engulfing candles, candle patterns. Some people don't even enter a trade unless there's an engulfing candle, okay? A candle that's telling them, I'm going to come off this support now with a bit of force and showing you that I'm green and I'm bigger than the red ones next to me. Or the same way as a resistance zone. If someone's trading from a resistance area, they want to see a big red candle bigger than the green candles before it, a confirmation candle. So I'm going to give you some tips now on entering and exiting trades anyway, right? And where you should target and when you should get out. When you should move your... No, actually, not when you should move your stop loss to break even. I'm keeping that for risk management. Fuck it. Okay, entry and exit work. Let's keep it simple before I start going on to other stuff. So let's take a look. All right, let's just take this as an example. So remember now, let's just say we've been learning about structure and trends. We was in a downtrend, and then what happens? You get this. You get this big what? Engulfing candle. You get a big engulfing candle. Why is it engulfing? Because it's engulfing the 1, 2, 3 candles before it. So it only needs to engulf one candle, yeah? Like, even if it just was one green candle bigger than this one red candle, it would be an engulfing candle. But the fact that it swallowed up 3 candles, you know what I mean, in one candle, well, actually, 1, 2, like 2, whatever. It's a big candle, right? You get it. The big green one is bigger than the rest. That's an engulfing candle. Plus, it just broke structure. Look. It literally just broke the structure. So do I enter on this? No. Could I? Yes. I mean, it'd be risky though, because there's no confirmations, all right? So what I mean by that is, there's no retest and continuation to tell me that is an uptrend. It could just be a liquidity grab for all I know. So anyway, let's not get too complicated. You could enter on this because it's an engulfing candle. But I like to see retests. Tell me, right, so it's coming back down. It's going to retest the support zone or whatever. So remember now, these are all support and resistance zones. Anywhere price is bouncing from. So there we go. This is a confirmation candle there. Put it back a little bit. So we've just come up. We're retesting. We broke structure. We come down. Little retest. So right now we're rejecting this resistance zone. We want to see a break through it with a nice bullish engulfing candle. Still none. Boom, there it is. Now that's a confirmation candle. There's my entry. I'm putting my stop loss there. And I'm going to target all of the previous structure and places that I think stop losses are going to be. Liquidity, where all the sellers have been pushing price down. Now this is where you can break up your take profits into 1, 2, and 3. So entry there. Now these are your exits. This is entry and exit work. So we entered there. Boom. So this was a 2.6. So you would have like almost tripled your money. Okay. That's entries and exits right there. That's why. And this is on a 1 minute time frame, mind. It's the same on any single time frame. Literally, look at this as well. We got our trend line. So everything we put together, all these building blocks earlier about trend lines, market structure, breaks of structure, support resistance, confirmation candles, engulfing, boom. We're just putting it all together. There we go. That was a simple break and retest. So it was a break of a trend line, break of a structure down there, break, retest of a resistance zone, now support because we're above it, and a big engulfing candle. That's 4 confirmations right there, but I'm going to save that spicy stuff for the bonus stuff that I mentioned. You know, I'm going to give you some strategies to work with. But yeah, basically, that's an entry, that's an exit. So let's look for some more entry work. This time I'm not going to do a break and a retest and an engulfing. I'm just going to do a breakout example, okay? Just look at this. It's everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's going to be a breakout opportunities, okay? So let's just take it straight from the top. Let's take it straight from the top. We're in an uptrend. Put like a little trend line, okay? Cool. Now, we want to see an actual break of structure, because remember earlier when I said if we break a trend line, it don't always break structure? Well, we know this is the structure, so if this breaks now, boom. Right, here we go. Now, because it's bar replay mode, I cannot tell you, you know, how I would have entered this without it closing, but I would have. So let's just picture now the candle's moving, is coming down, and then boom, it just breaks this level there, just breaks the little structure. Am I waiting for it to close? No. If I'm breakout trading, let's just say, and I see the volume, I'm getting in. And volume means when there's is a lot, like it's really pushing. So I'm just going with the flow here. This is really risky trading. So I just get in before it even breaks. If I want to put a stop loss anyway, I'm going to put it above this structure. Oh, my bad. So that's my entry. Where's my exits? Well, first off, you know I'm going to be exiting there. I'm going to be exiting there. You know, these are all my take profits, all right? And I'll get into like moving your stop loss to break even when I do risk management, all right? But look, potentially we can take all of this liquidity where the buyers have been putting their stop losses now. Remember, the stuff we've learned. So that's TP1. TP1 smashed. TP2. TP2 absolutely smashed. And look as well, every single time prices come down and tapped into these take profits where, you know, the liquidity's lying, what's it doing? It's bouncing from it. The buyers are trying to push it back up. Look, it's reacting from these lines. Like, I'm not making this stuff up. This is how it is. Is it going to hit TP3? Well, yeah, and I knew it was going to hit TP3 because obviously it's bar replay, but I'm just showing you, okay? So, there we go. Easy breakouts. Now, let's just do let's just do an example of a break to the upside. So we're just waiting for structure to break to the upside. Right, cool. So it's there. So let's just say we wasn't waiting for any confirmations. As soon as it broke this line, we're in. Now you could put your stop loss below this structure there, or you could put it down by there. The safest place to put it would be obviously down there, because you got much more chance of not being stopped out. This way, you're going to have way more chance of being stopped out, but you're going to get a bigger reward and a quicker reward faster if it does work out for you. And all we're doing is targeting what? Places where price has been pushed down from. Structure, liquidity, whatever you want to call it, right? These are all your take profit zones. These are your exits. So entries, exits. And these are examples on just breakouts, okay? Now, let's just run in and see if we was to put our stop loss there, would we be stopped out? And if we put our stop loss there, would we be stopped out? Okay, so let's just do this first scenario. Stopped out. Okay, cool. Stopped out. What if we was to put it down there? We wouldn't have been stopped out. You understand what I'm trying to say? And are we going to actually take all of the TPs? Probably not, because it's starting to consolidate. Oh, wait. Yeah, we did. So eventually, TP got smashed. Why did we even enter this trade? Because we just got a breakout, a breaker structure. Didn't even wait for no confirmation. So that's a example of just a breakout entry and exits. And my exits are always going to be structure, liquidity, or fixed profit, like 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, 1-to-2. But we'll get into that on risk management. So the other way I want to show you, I've showed you break and retest example. I've shown you a breakout example. Now I want to show you, okay, what other entries are there? I mean, I'm either looking for an engulfing candle after a break and retest, or I'm literally getting in on a breakout with volume. So yeah, I really don't know. I mean, you can get in on rejections, okay? Okay, so let's just do an example of a rejection. Cool. So say we're trend followers. We're trend followers, okay? Cool. So we know we're in an uptrend, whatever. Right, we're expecting a trend continuation. So we're just drawing support and resistance zones, whatever, right? So we're in an uptrend, but we're taking into consideration to the left side all this area where price has been bouncing from. So we didn't know. We didn't know when price was coming up here if price was going to just purely drop from this resistance. But we find out that it breaks. We want a trend continuation. Now, right, wait, here we go. Let me tell you, some people enter on rejections of areas. So some people would have entered on this rejection candle there. Like, I like to see an engulfing candle. So even though that's a rejection, like, think about how I taught you earlier on in the course of how to look at a candle and how it closes. So the bottom of this was the open. It got all the way down there and it closed above, so it closed bullish. Look how it ended. It closed more towards the upside, telling us it's rejecting a support zone and we're in an uptrend. So some people would have just got in on this rejection candle and not waited for the confirmation candle. Stop loss below structure or down there to be safe. And you'd be exiting always looking to the left side for liquidity and just structure. Now, I already know what happens because I've seen it. But would I have entered on this candle? Would that have been enough for me? No, but it would have been an extra confirmation when I seen this big engulfing one. I would have thought, right, okay, I've just seen a rejection of an area because this candle clearly, didn't want to keep going down. It just rejected it. And then when I see the candle after it, this big engulfing one, that's my entry candle. That one right there. Stop loss below this structure. And yeah, you can scroll out, look for anything to the left, right? Past price. That's all we're looking for. Places where price has been pushed down from. The more violently, the better. And yeah, if you're holding your trades, man, this is how you get these monsters. Let's let it run. There we go. Does it get there? No, doesn't get there. All right, cool. But what did it do? How far did it get? Got all the way to there. So like 4 times the money anyway. And how long did that take? Let's take a little look. Because we're on the 1 minute time frame. So, this didn't take long. I promise you. You've just 4 times the money in 42 minutes. There we go. That's entry and exit work in a nutshell. Yeah, the simple way. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. Like I said, I'm going to literally give you a bonus 3 little strategy examples: a breakout strategy, break and retest strategy, and a little bit of a smart money concepts kind of thing. But obviously more in the advanced courses that I'm going to be dropping, you're going to get an opportunity to really dive in and I'm going to really get deep with it. So once you've mastered these basic things, I'm going to like really throw some serious shit at you. And it's still going to be simple though, but just it's going to make more sense. You know what I mean? It's going to really click to you once you master these basics. But that's why this course is called Master the Basics. So yeah, entries and exits, that's literally it. I'm always going to be entering on a confirmation. Either volume is going to be either a engulfing candle. That's the only other way I'll really enter. And like I said, rejection candles can kind of act as an extra confluence towards the engulfing candles. So that's entry and exit work right there. I don't really think that I need to overcomplicate him, make him more than what it is. So on to the next lesson.